التحطيب is an ancient martial art that's practiced with sticks. In Egypt, it's popular in rural areas. Men and children gather to watch the best fighters in the village battle it out, with flutes and drums adding to the suspense and drama.
Tahṭib is a custom that dates back to the pharaohs. The first records of Tahṭib are depicted on the walls of some temples and tombs. They show how our ancestors used the stick. It wasn't a dance back then, but more of a game to release tension in a positive way, a competition. Many of those basic moves are still used today, thousands of years later.
Pharaohs fought using papyrus stems instead of these sticks. Egyptologists believe Tahṭib was one of the three pillars of training a fighter had to master in order to carry a weapon. The other two were wrestling and archery.
Tahṭib has many forms, one of which is fighting. It's about pride, respecting your opponent and demonstrating the glory of the stick, but without hurting the other person. To retain his honor, a fighter must win the battle without physically touching his opponent.
The game starts with both fighters standing up straight facing each other. They then perform various complex moves, showing off their skills and talent with the stick. The rules vary. A fighter earns 1 point if he hits his opponent's leg or if his opponent is forced to take a step backwards. If he strikes the torso or upper part of the body, a fighter gets 2 points. By the mid-1900s, Tahṭib had become a performance art and an integral part of Egyptian folk dancing.
50 to 60 years ago, prominent artist Mahmoud Reda modernized traditional folk dancing, and Tahṭib was performed at festivals worldwide. But since then, there's been no major development. We're trying to revive this disappearing act because they're a reflection of the Egyptian character.
Dancers say Tahṭib is becoming more popular among foreigners, and some artists are trying to develop what they call modern Tahṭib, replacing the old-fashioned dress code with more fashionable outfits. And performing it to modern rather than traditional music. Fighting with wooden sticks is definitely not exclusive to Egypt. There are similar practices in many cultures around the world. However, Egypt hopes this week that UNESCO will endorse Tahṭib as a cultural heritage that needs to be protected so it's not lost forever. عادل المحروي, CCTV, Cairo.